Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and for today's video I'm going to be doing something a little different. I've decided to do videos on Winx Club. A couple of days back, I decided to make a Twitter for Winx Club called Winxopedia, or the Winx Encyclopedia. And it's just a way for me to detail the history, explain, do analysis on Winx Club and anything about it. Soon I realized that I could turn these Twitter threads into videos because I've already got a script. And so here we are. And for this first video, I'm going to be detailing the history of the Great Dragon. So the Winx magical dimension began with the Great Dragon. Its flame, known as the Dragon's Flame, sparked the creation of the realms and planets the Winx interact with, including their homes. It is clear that the Great Dragon is supposed to represent the Big Bang in the Winx world, as this is the reason why life began. The Great Dragon can also be seen as the Almighty God and Jesus of the Winx magical world, because thanks to its power, life was breathed into the world. It is unknown, to my knowledge, when this Big Bang occurred in the world of Winx. But judging by how old our universe is, which is 13.8 billion years, it must be around that age as well. One of the planets that the Dragon Flame created was Domino/Spark. Depending on which version of the translated Winx show that you are watching, this planet is either known as Domino or Sparks. Now, it is Domino where the Great Dragon decided to reside in once he was done creating the universe. After its disappearance, the powers of the Great Dragon began to be passed down through generations in the royal family of Domino. It is unclear how many generations have passed since the beginning of the Winx show, seeing as how time just doesn't work perfectly well in the Winx universe. So out of all the generations that there certainly is, we only know about Bloom's family. Bloom's mother, Marion, passed down the Dragon's Flame to Bloom and her older sister, Daphne. Daphne became one of the most powerful nymphs in the magical dimension, and it is also unclear just how old she really is. Nonetheless, she is Bloom's big sister and a big helper in Bloom's journey. Now, Bloom's father, Ortel, also had access to said power through his magical sword, which we saw in full action in the first Winx movie, The Secret of the Lost Kingdom. Aside from this, Ortel did not have the same abilities that Marion, Daphne, and Bloom have. This would categorize him as more of a specialist than a wizard or sorcerer or any other magical being. Going back to the Great Dragon, along with its creation, there were two entities created to oppose its light energy. They are the Shadow Phoenix and the Water Stars. We meet the holder of the Shadow Phoenix in Season 2 and are introduced to the Water Stars in Season 3. The Shadow Phoenix is the dark opposite of the Great Dragon, while the Water Stars are neutral opposite artifacts that can extinguish the Dragon's Flame. It is unclear why the Shadow Phoenix can't extinguish the Dragon's Flame and why the Water Stars can, but that's how it is. But because the Water Stars can't take away the Dragon's Flame, Bloom used them to defeat Valtor in the Season 3 finale. She did this because Valtor also used the Dragon's Flame as a source of power, therefore the Water Stars could help and defeat him. She used the Water Stars and the power of the elements to defeat Valtor. Now this proved to be a risky move, as Bloom's own powers could have been extinguished too, because she is the holder of the Dragon's Flame. But in true Bloom fashion, she was perfectly fine, completely unscathed, and saved the day. Now moving back to the Great Dragon, another ancient artifact we know to have been created by the Dragon's Flame is Stella's Ring of Celeriac. The ring was born out of a spring of light from the Dragon's Flame, and is an ancient heirloom that has stayed within the Celeriac royal family for generations. The ring itself also changes into a scepter, which the wearer can use to aid them in battle. Because the ring holds magic from the Dragon's Flame, the Tricks tried hard to obtain it in Season 1, before realizing that the true keeper of the Dragon's Flame is Bloom. Going back to the history of the Dragon Flame, Lord Darkar, the holder of the Shadow Phoenix, wanted to obtain the ultimate power. He sent the Ancestral Witches and Valtor to Domino to find Bloom and take her powers. time works here on Earth, or their Earth. So why does it feel like Domino has existed for a millennia, has been under ice for thousands of years, Daphne is some 100 years old, but yet this only happened 16 years ago? It makes no sense. Absolutely no sense. Obviously, as kids, we don't realize this because we're not paying attention to that. To us, it's just, oh, this happened a really long time ago. But a really long time ago is not 16 years. A really long time ago is 100 years, 200, 300, and more. It's just so weird that like everything is treated like it happened ages ago, but it also didn't happen ages ago. And on top of that, Faragonda herself, as well as Saladin and Griffin, are not that old when they're defeating the ancestral witches. They're probably close to the same age as the Winx are currently now, which is in their mid-20s. But yet, when the show starts, they all look like they're in their between 40s and 60s. That then makes me think that, oh, only like 60 years passed. But how is that possible? Bloom is only 16 years old. The other Winx fairies are only 16, 17 years old. So why is time so weird? Anyways, that's it. Okay, I'm gonna finish with this little rant now. As long as we don't think about it too hard, it'll make sense, you know? But like, I'm a 22-year-old adult, I can't help but think about it too hard. Anyways, I really hope you guys like this video, and please stay tuned for more because I have a lot more of these history/analysis ideas coming